Plessis recently weighed in on the upcoming Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev fight, sharing his thoughts after watching some of Pereira's training footage. I mean, I've been looking at the training footage of Pereira for this one. He looks scary. He looks angry. I think what's going to happen here is, he's coming to prove a point, Plessis said. He went on to break down Pereira's strengths and improvements. I honestly feel the way I saw him in training, the stuff that I saw, he looks sharper. He looks, like I said, just more intense. But the striking was never the problem. The striking was never the problem for him. It's the fact that he got smothered before. I think he has the right people around him now. That's not going to be so hard to fix. This is how I avoid getting smothered. Learn to fight in that clinch situation because he has the elbows, he has the knees, he has all that. So he's going to need to keep his back off the fence. Plessis clearly believes Pereira has made the right adjustments. I do believe that they've spent enough time working on that. And I really don't see this fight going the distance this time. But I'm putting my money on Pereira. I have to go with him, he added. He also touched on the mental side of the fight, emphasizing Pereira's mindset. The way I saw him in training, he's focused, he's intense, and he wants to prove himself. You can see it in the energy he's bringing. When a fighter comes in like that, it's a dangerous opponent for anyone in the octagon. Plessis' insights make it clear that Pereira has addressed the key areas that previously held him back, and now his power, precision, and improved clinch work make him a serious threat to Ankalaev. With the adjustments he's made and the intensity he's showing in training, Plessis expects a decisive outcome rather than a drawn-out battle. This fight is shaping up to be an explosive matchup that fans will not want to miss. Meanwhile, Sean Ali has praised Ilya for his recent performances, highlighting the rising star's skill and poise in the cage, keeping him firmly in the conversation among the top fighters in his division. Move on to another news. Dustin Poirier has made headlines again, this time calling out Nate Diaz for a potential Zuffa boxing matchup. It seems like retired UFC fighters are finally finding a new platform to showcase their skills, and Zuffa boxing is stepping up to fill that role. Last night, Dustin took to social media and casually threw out a challenge to Nate Diaz, sparking instant buzz across the MMA and boxing communities. He posted, "Zuffa boxing, 12 rounds, me and Nathaniel. I'd do it. Only one more fight I'll take." The post immediately caught the attention of fans, as Dustin is known for his legendary toughness and precision striking in the octagon. And seeing him transition to boxing adds an exciting new twist to his career. Fans instantly started speculating about the intensity and competitiveness of a fight between Dustin and Nate, two fighters famous for their durability, heart, and relentless pressure. Dustin later clarified his comments to make sure there was no confusion about his current status. He explained, "We're not even going anywhere, but someone asked me. I'm retired. I'm done. But Nate is one that got away." His statement shows that while he has officially stepped away from UFC competition, the competitive fire in him still burns strong. Nate Diaz, with his iconic style and incredible stamina, would certainly provide a high-stakes challenge for Dustin inside a boxing ring. The idea of Dustin Poirier versus Nate Diaz in Zuffa boxing has fans talking not just about the clash of fighting styles, but also about the narratives of their careers. Both fighters have had remarkable runs in the UFC, but neither has fully settled unfinished business with the other. Dustin calling out Nate brings that story full circle, offering fans a chance to witness a dream matchup under entirely new rules in a sport that highlights pure striking and conditioning. Zuffa boxing has been making waves recently, especially after the new deal with Paramount, giving retired fighters a stage to continue proving themselves while keeping fans engaged. Dustin's challenge to Nate fits perfectly into this trend, showing that even after retirement, fighters can still make headlines, draw attention, and deliver thrilling action. This potential fight promises 12 rounds of excitement, featuring two of the toughest, most respected veterans in combat sports today. Dustin's call-out isn't just a social media post, it's a statement that the legacy of these fighters isn't over, and Zuffa boxing is the perfect platform to keep that energy alive. Fans are eagerly anticipating whether Nate Diaz will respond and step into the ring for what could become one of the most talked about bouts in boxing history. Move on to another news. Diego Lopes is making waves in the featherweight division as he continues to call out Alexander Volkanovski. After an impressive win against John Silva, Lopes is eager to secure a rematch with the champion. While it initially seemed like Laurent Murphy was next in line, Lopes has remained persistent, keeping the spotlight on himself and pushing for a showdown with Volkanovski. During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show this week, Lopes made it clear that he believes he is the most exciting fight for the champion. "I think there's a chance I get to fight. People love to watch me lose or win. The people love to watch me. Now in the division, in the top 5, the most exciting fight for Volkanovski is me," he said. Lopes also sent a direct message to Volkanovski saying, "Let's do this again. I'm a better fighter than the last time. I've been waiting for the rematch." His confidence and determination are unmistakable, signaling that he's ready to challenge for the belt at any opportunity. Lopes also addressed the viral moment where he projectile vomited during a post-fight interview backstage. "The adrenaline is like, I'm so happy after the fight. I was walking backstage asking for Gatorade or Coke or water. I drank this too fast," he explained. Fans found the moment shocking, but it highlighted the intensity and emotional highs fighters experience after a big win. Despite his exciting performance, Lopes was candid about his own critique of the fight. "Like a coach, I know I'm not 100% happy with my performance. I know I need more, but like a fighter, I'm happy, bro," he admitted. His honesty shows a combination of humility and relentless drive, traits that make him a dangerous contender in the featherweight division. As for Volkanovski, nothing has been officially announced for his next fight, but he has been seen putting in work with Mauricio Hufi on social media. The two were training at Essence Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, focusing on striking and grappling, signaling that the champion is staying sharp and preparing for whatever challenge comes next. Diego Lopes' recent win and his continued push for a rematch keep him in the conversation as one of the most exciting fighters in the division. With his energy, determination, and the fire to prove himself against the champion, Lopes is positioning himself as a serious threat to Volkanovski's reign. Fans are eagerly watching this rivalry build, knowing that when these two collide again, it promises to be an electrifying clash in the Octagon. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili is stirring up buzz and concern just days out from UFC 320, where 2 massive title fights are set to light up the Octagon. In his latest interview with Setanta Sports Georgia, the bantamweight champion revealed that he's feeling very sick, but he's determined to push through and compete no matter what. His comments immediately raised eyebrows because Dvalishvili's relentless cardio has always been his biggest weapon. If that is even slightly compromised, it could change the dynamics of the fight entirely. Merab, however, was quick to shift the focus to his opponent, Corey Sandhagen, making it clear that the challenger needs to be on high alert on the feet. Despite being one of the most decorated strikers in the division, Corey could still get caught at any moment, Merab said. "I have the power and timing to put him away if he slips up." The champion has been working intensely on his stand-up, aiming to expand his arsenal beyond his grappling dominance. After his submission win over Suga, Merab now has his sights set on racking up some knockouts and showing that he's a complete threat in every aspect of MMA. Merab shared candidly about his health ahead of fight week. "Tomorrow, my weight cut begins. This used to happen to me in the early days, and even today, I feel a bit sick. It's nothing I can't push through, but my immune system is slightly compromised. It doesn't bother me, though. In fact, it gives me even more motivation to fight and overcome adversity," he explained. His dedication and mental toughness shine through, emphasizing that no obstacle will prevent him from giving his all inside the cage. Despite the intensity, Merab made it clear that he respects Corey both as a fighter and as a person. "Corey is a good guy. He's been working hard. He's coming with the intent to knock me out, break my arm, take my belt, and bring it back to his state. But I'm putting in the work to give my all and beat him. My striking has gotten much better as well. Corey needs to be careful. We haven't felt the need to trash talk or disrespect each other online. Aside from some friendly jabs, like that one time he made fun of my dancing. I don't even know how to dance. I just try to imitate Georgian dancing. And somehow these Americans believe I'm some kind of skilled dancer." With UFC 320 rapidly approaching, every second leading up to the event is building tension to an absolute boil. Merab's health struggles, combined with his improved striking and unwavering determination, make this matchup unpredictable and electrifying. Fans are eagerly watching, knowing that Merab Dvalishvili is prepared to overcome adversity and deliver an unforgettable performance inside the Octagon. Move on to another news. Alex Pereira has fired back at Magomed for lying, following a tense run-in at the UFC Performance Institute last week. The encounter happened after Magomed was reportedly annoyed that Pereira had accused him of avoiding him at the PI previously. Magomed went on record claiming he had no idea Pereira was in the building the first time the two nearly crossed paths. During a media scrum filmed by Full Send MMA this week, Pereira called out the inconsistencies in Magomed's story, suggesting they are proof that the champion isn't writing his own tweets. It just shows that he's not writing these tweets. It's not coming from him. He came here and thought, maybe I don't want to see him because I'm alone, Pereira said. Pereira also responded to Magomed's previous comments about their first fight, where the champion implied Pereira felt greasy. Alex explained that it only demonstrates how his game has evolved and strengthened him mentally, knowing he was able to shut down Magomed's game plan. His focus now is on reclaiming the title and proving that he remains a serious threat in the division. However, according to one of Magomed's coaches, Pereira may struggle to secure a knockout. In a UFC promo video, the coach stated, "His technique is standard. His strikes are standard. He's an old kickboxer. He has no speed. Alex has a punch, but not the kind that can really knock you out." Despite this, Pereira's determination to regain the belt remains clear, and he is actively preparing to challenge the champion once again. Pereira isn't the only fighter on this weekend's card looking to make a statement. During a separate media scrum, Yuri Prochazka also weighed in on sharing the card with Pereira, who holds a 2-0 record against him. "You know me. I meditate and do a lot of inner work. I can't have that attitude towards him. The only thing I'll say is I believe I'm on a level where I can beat him," Prochazka said. Considering Carlos Ulberg's recent win in Perth, Prochazka may need an impressive performance to cement himself as a #1 contender, adding even more intrigue to the event. With tensions high and rivalries intensifying, this weekend's fights are shaping up to be some of the most compelling matchups of the year. Fans are eagerly anticipating whether Pereira can reclaim his title and how Prochazka will respond to the challenges ahead. Move on to another news. Henry Cejudo has spoken out about Jon Jones and the situation surrounding his potential spot on the UFC White House card. Despite Dana White publicly stating that he doesn't trust Jon to headline and considers it unlikely to happen, Triple C believes Dana will eventually cave and give Jon the opportunity. However, Cejudo also thinks Jon is going to take a major pay cut compared to what he would have earned defending the heavyweight belt against Tom Aspinall earlier this year. President Dana White is going to cave in, bro. President Dana White is going to cave in, and he's going to give Jon Jones that opportunity, Cejudo said. He was quick to point out where Jon messed up, emphasizing that in business, you just cannot make the mistakes Jon made. This is where Jon fucked up, and I can tell him that, and I'll say it here publicly. You cannot in business. You just cannot do that, bro. He's probably going to get paid half, maybe even $10 million in comparison to the $30 million they were reportedly going to give him against Tom, Cejudo explained. While the exact numbers are uncertain, Cejudo stressed that Jon's decision has consequences for his earning potential. No one knows if they were actually going to give him that. I don't know if that was cush. I know, really? He added. Triple C's perspective reflects his understanding of both the business and competitive side of the sport, highlighting the importance of timing, decisions, and professional conduct in MMA. Cejudo also acknowledged Dana White's reasoning, explaining that Jon remains a bit of a wild card. Yeah, I understand Dana White's point too, because Jon Jones he is a bit of a wild card. Some things could happen. Obviously, his legal record says a lot, dude. You know. And I love Jon, but let's speak the facts, dude, he said. Despite Jon's past accomplishments and legendary status, Cejudo believes that his missteps have impacted both his opportunities and his pay. The situation underscores how even the greatest fighters must navigate the business side carefully, and how missing the mark in negotiations or behavior can carry long-term consequences. With the UFC White House card approaching, fans are now watching closely to see if Jon will indeed get the shot and how this potential pay cut might affect his motivation and performance inside the Octagon. Cejudo's candid analysis provides insight into the challenges and realities even elite fighters face behind the scenes. Move on to another news. Dustin Poirier recently shared his thoughts on Paddy Pimblett and whether the rising star is ready for a title shot. Speaking on the Mike Bones Bonfire podcast last night, the Diamond was clear about his stance. While he acknowledged Paddy's accomplishments and gave him credit for his performances, Poirier believes that one more win is needed before he can truly compete for a championship. Respect to Paddy and everything he's done, Poirier said. I don't think a win over Michael Chandler, considering the streak Chandler's been on and the way his fights have been going, deserves a title shot right away. I know he's exciting and people are talking about him, but I would like to see him fight one more top 5 guy, one more tough test, and then we could talk about title fights for him. Poirier emphasized that his opinion isn't a knock on Paddy's talent or marketability, but rather a perspective on timing and preparation at the highest level. I think it's a little bit rushed for Paddy if we're talking about him and Ilya, he added. pointing out that the competition in the upper echelons of the division requires a fighter to be battle-tested before stepping into a championship bout. The Diamond's comments reflect his understanding of the business and competitive side of MMA. Title shots aren't just about momentum or fan excitement. They're about experience, skill, and proving that a fighter can handle the pressure and caliber of competition at the very top. By advocating for Paddy to take another step before a title fight, Poirier highlights the importance of building credibility through successive high-level wins. This isn't the first time Poirier has offered guidance on matchmaking and title contention in the division. His perspective carries weight, not only because of his accomplishments inside the Octagon, but also because of his reputation for fairness and insight when it comes to evaluating other fighters. Fans and analysts alike will be watching Paddy's next fights closely to see if he can meet Poirier's suggested standard and earn the opportunity to challenge for gold. With Poirier's advice in mind, Paddy's path to a championship remains clear. One more big win, proving he can rise to the challenge, and then the conversation about a title shot can truly begin. This version is 350 words, keeping a natural, voiceover-friendly flow with key moments emphasized for maximum impact.